If you've had heart palpitations or irregularities, you know how scary it can be. I had bad ones for years before I finally found the cure. Stay tuned to hear what I found to be the answer to my prayers, and possibly yours. First off, I'm Linda. I'll start with my backstory, and maybe yours has some similarities. Mine started about in 2019 is when my heart palpitations started. I had a point where my heart started beating at like 134 beats per minute and wouldn't slow down, and it's never that high. But anyway, I called my doctor and they told me to go to the emergency room because they would be able to do lab tests and an EEG. I hate hospitals and didn't want to go to the emergency room, but I did. I followed the directions. Anyway, after the lab tests, it came back that my TSH level, which is my thyroid, was low. So they decided, okay, we'll just lower her thyroid medicine, as that's what I take because I had thyroid cancer and had my thyroid out. So they just lowered my thyroid medicine. I figured that would help. Unfortunately, it didn't, because now and then I would still have them again, usually at night, usually after I'm in bed, sleeping. I hated it. I really did. I would have them like maybe in the beginning it was only like 2 or 3 times a year for the first couple of years, which wasn't really bad. I mentioned it to the doctor, but she didn't seem concerned. Just your thyroid, nothing we can do, which I thought was a little bit weird. But after a few years, I had them bad one night, and of course the next day after I have them, I'm so tired because it kept me awake most of the night, having my heart pounding in my chest, or sometimes it would flip-flop in my chest and I'd wake up feeling so tired if I even had any sleep. A lot of times I even feel faint in the morning. But anyway, the next night I went to bed really early and I was so tired that I just fell dead asleep really quick. And I had a really good night's sleep. I woke up feeling good, knowing I slept good. Then when I checked my Fitbit, it said I had signs of AFib overnight. I showed my heart rate going up and down really quick most of the night long, and I thought, that scared me. I'm like, oh no, what now? So I called the doctor's office and they got me in the same day. She gave me an EKG and everything looked good. So then she decided to order a 2-week heart monitor and also an echocardiogram. Both of those looked good. The heart monitor said that I had a bit of bradycardia, which is a low heart rate. For somebody who has heart palpitations sometimes, where it's really high, that's kind of weird. But it was going down to like 40, 42 at night. I knew that because my Fitbit had told me that. Been telling me that for years. So she sent me to a cardiologist. The cardiologist didn't seem concerned either about anything. They just increased my metoprolol from 25 to 50, even though my heart rate was low to begin with. And that does lower heart rate as well as blood pressure. It was just like weird. But anyway, believe it or not, that did not work at all. Within 6 months after that, I got really bad heart palpitations at night, like 5 times within 2 months. And I said, oh, this is it. The doctors are getting me nowhere. There was a new holistic functional doctor that opened up down the street. I decided, I'm going to try her. Maybe she can figure out what's wrong with me. I think the doctor's got it wrong. So I went to her, and my first appointment was almost an hour long because she took my full history of all my medical, and it was a long appointment. And after we got done, she said, I'm going to put you on some electrolytes. I want you to take an electrolyte packet daily. And she decided to put me on LMNT, Element electrolytes. And I took that for a while. And I have to admit, they did slow down. They weren't as bad. When I would get them at night, I'd still get them for maybe 6 hours overnight, but I'd be able to sleep through it because I could feel my heart pounding a little bit, but it wasn't really bad. That was keeping me awake all night and making me feel horrible in the morning. So I decided I got sick of the LMNT. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that, the element, but it's like, I just couldn't drink it anymore. And so I found another one called Nectar. This one had all organic fruits and it had stevia for the sweetener. And it seemed like a good fit because I was trying to go away from the processed foods and gluten. She had me doing that too. And in it, as well as the electrolytes. This one had really good, it had really good ingredients. And the taste was really light too. So I've been drinking that for over a year now, I guess. Or not quite a year. And at the same time I did that, I decided to take magnesium. She had mentioned magnesium before, but I didn't. I had taken magnesium before and it was like, I didn't like the loose stools you get with magnesium. She told me to take magnesium glycinate because that is known to not cause that. So I started on that too. I started out with I'm taking like 240 milligrams in a liquid form. Since I switched and started taking the nectar and the magnesium, I haven't had any problems. This was the cure. All these years and the doctors and the regular medical professionals, and they couldn't even figure out that it was just something as simple as electrolyte imbalance. After she had prescribed, well, it wasn't really a prescription, but after she told me to start taking electrolytes, I did some research. And it turns out potassium and magnesium in particular, out of all the electrolytes, if you're low in that, can really affect your heart. Magnesium, most people don't get enough magnesium in their diet simply because that's just the way our food is nowadays. You can't get it. So that could be a problem. And if you're suffering from palpitations or irregularities, that might be where you want to start to try to get rid of them. It worked for me. I'm not saying it can work for everybody because there's a lot of reasons that a person can have heart palpitations. But if you're having problems and the doctors aren't coming up with anything that can help, you might want to try electrolytes. There's a lot of functional integrative doctors on YouTube that can tell you more about the science behind it all and the chemistry and whatever, why it works and how all the electrolytes work together. I'm not a doctor or anything, and I was always bad in science, so I don't know that. But you want to find out more information, go check them out. But anyway, electrolytes and magnesium glycinate. That's what works. Thanks for listening.